Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Lanterns of London. This will be episode 13. Last time, our adventurers saved their friend Katrin Sato with the aid and assistance of Margaret, the other resident of the matchstick factory, bringing her back there to recover from the wounds that she incurred at the hands of the witch hunters. We now have one place that all of our companions and protagonists currently seem to be residing. And alongside them, Katrin has now become a resident while she recovers and rebuilds after the loss of her business and home. We rejoin our group in January of 1889. The city is bitterly cold. Frost rinds all of the windows of the matchstick factory. Up at the highermost point in the tower housing the clock mechanism for the factory, Nathaniel wakes up with the cold light of the dawn. This room is bitter and drafty, but you have made it your own for the most part. What is Nathaniel's morning ritual like now?
Well, he would wake up and go one floor above to where the bell is actually situated, and look out across London, eventually see St. Hubert, have regrets, sit with them for a while, and then go downstairs for, I'm guessing, Margaret serves breakfast?
Well, on that note, you can see the chimneys off to your right as you're looking out towards St. Hubert. Smoke is curling from them. One of them, feeds down through one of the bedrooms where Oliviera is staying into the kitchen below. And yeah, as you move down through the factory, you can hear small signs of life. As you come down the ladder from your clockwork, you can already hear in the adjacent room someone is moving around and seemingly working in there. As you pass the open door, you can see Katrin. Still some dressings on the wounds that she incurred, appears to be tending a series of medicinal plants that are all arrayed out around the windows to capture as much of the light coming from the south as possible.
Does she look very busy, or?
It looks more like this is standard maintenance of the plants. It doesn't look like she's very busy. She kind of looking through, watering things. It doesn't look like it's taxing.
He'll pause at the door and kind of knock.
Morning, Nathaniel.
Good morning, Katrin. I was just going down for a bit of breakfast. Do you care to join me?
Oh, certainly. You can see there's still a little bit of pain in the way she moves as she puts down the watering can, but she's looking a lot better than she has over the last 2 weeks. She's recovered a lot, and she walks to the door with you. Lead the way.
Okay. He'll start walking down and say, I'm glad to see you're on your feet again.
Me too. I was getting a bit sick of bed rest. But Oliviera was insistent. And she wasn't wrong. I'm doing better.
That's very good.
You make your way down the staircase in the wing that has been turned into a house. As you sort of reach the stairs, I'll say coming out of one of the rooms on this same floor that you're on, is Tristan, dressed for the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to head down to breakfast together.
Morning, Tristan.
Good morning to the both of you. Tristan looks like rosy-cheeked and possibly even has just a tiny bit of water still on him because he has just done a little bit of a sink bath because he wakes up extremely early and does a vigorous calisthenics routine. as quietly as he possibly can.
That actually is a good point. To reach this point, you'd have had to pass the combination of mats and wooden dummies and sword racks that have been set up in one of the wider spaces on the third floor of the factory. A makeshift swordsmanship ring on the upper floor for practice. As you go downstairs, you can be joined by Alice and Oliviera as you make your way down to the ground floor, where coming in with a gust of incredibly cold air and joined by Skip is Edmund, as you're able to congregate in the sitting and dining room, where Margaret has already started putting out a massive bowl of porridge for everyone to ladle out their own portion from. Morning, all.
Good morning, Margaret.
Good
Morning.
Fucking hell, Alice, get some porridge down. You look like death warmed up.
Can I glance across at Alice at this point?
Yep. You don't need to make a roll for that. All of you can see she looks incredibly pale and drawn.
I know. I feel a bit under the weather, but not to worry. I'm handling it.
Well, just don't give whatever you've got me, would you? Because if that's what it's going to make a 20-something-year-old look, it's going to kill me. Right, who wants to...
Understood.
Edmund pointedly sits far away from Alice. He already looks dishevelled.
Toast?
No, I would never say no to toast.
Right. Get that and some tea on. Back in a minute. And she will sidle out of the room.
Go on then, young Miss Alice. Tell us all about it. Were you at that mulled wine?
No, I do not drink. I prefer
You
to keep
can
my
tell
wits
us.
about me
It's
when...
all right.
Edmund, No.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm just... I may have to have a chat with you soon, Dr. Rice, about my health.
Oh,
But
I'm sorry.
right.
Oh, sorry.
No. It's quite all right. It's all right. It's nothing you need to be concerned with.
Understood.
Although, since we're here, all at the same time... No, I shall wait until we've finished our food.
At the mention of mulled wine, you can see Tristan, not surreptitiously, but just very unassumingly, pouring a tiny splash of whiskey into his porridge and then giving it a quick stir.
That's the most foul thing I've ever heard, and that's...
Couldn't just put it in your tea?
I mean, it's all going to the same place.
Liviera, when you woke up this morning and came out to join everyone, there was a small package outside your door. 1 second, I will put it into your diary.
Oh, okay.
It is a brown paper package tied with string, and there is a note with it, one that you should be able to see in your handouts if you wish to read it
I see
aloud.
In game, in character or out of character?
In character is absolutely fine. You don't have to read it aloud in character, but feel free to do it in character voice.
Sure. So just for everyone else at the table, the note says, "From a lowly tinkerer to a learned lady of science." And it is was a megascope. It's a breastbound device with interchangeable lenses. It's very, very fine. Would you say it's finely made?
Extremely finely made, yes.
Yeah.
I'm adding the gadget to your journal as well, but essentially it's a small brass-bound device that can be used to both as a telescope or as a microscope.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do I recognize the handwriting?
Probably not. No, but
I've got an inkling, but I just want to check if I. Okay.
So you just shared this out of character, not in character.
I shared this
right?
out of character. I haven't said anything in character yet.
Okay.
But walking back in with a very large pot of tea on a tray and a toast rack filled with hot toast and a small sort of plate of butter will be Margaret, who will set it down, park herself in the remaining chair, take a piece of toast and toss it to Skip, and then start eating. Right, dig in. Stick in till you stick out and all that.
Alice is going to do her usual routine of giving the food and tea a quick little, just to check it before she partakes.
Margaret notices. Margaret actively chooses not to say anything, but you think you hear her suck her teeth momentarily.
Can I also keep an eye on what Alice is doing? Just
Sure.
as subtly as possible.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think you can notice that, again, it's been a thing where you've noticed that she doesn't eat normally, or that she's very particular about what she eats. I'd say that's something that all of you could have had a chance to notice at this point. But yeah, you're able to eat breakfast. It is warming, which at this time of year is helpful, and there is a good fire going in the room, which Skip has immediately got and plonked himself down in front of.
I have a question. Which one of you said prayers before food?
Avowedly not Tristan.
Well, Nathaniel wouldn't.
Not Alice either.
And he wouldn't. He would just do it for himself, and he wouldn't notice who doesn't, namely all of you. But there's no judgment there. That's me. That's not Nathaniel.
Margaret will clasp her hands, but she will have already taken several bites of a piece of toast that she tries to knock a napkin over while you say grace.
Yeah, Edmund will clock you praying and just go, oh, piss and bones.
Tristan arches an eye at Katrin during the entire little thing of prayer.
She eats slightly more loudly.
He matches her.
Breakfast passes. Is there any particular conversation people would like to have during food?
Edmund doesn't talk during meals, he just eats.
Just maybe just general chit chat about how did everyone sleep? What's everyone's plans for the day? Is there anything specific we need to look into accomplishing? That kind of thing.
I do have a brief errand I had hoped to attend to. Edmund, actually, it would be a great help if you would come with.
Yes, of course. Not a problem at all. Might I inquire as to the nature of what we're doing? Should I expect a long journey, or...?
No, just a relatively short journey. I suspect we'll be back.
Are we going to Raccoon Tour?
Oh, Lord.
Is it a Raccoon Tour? I've been looking forward to one of those.
We're not going on a raccoon tour, no.
Oh, all right, okay.
Ashton's trying incredibly hard not to choke to death on her toast. Food is finished. Margaret clears it away and then comes back in, sort of tending the fire.
Before everyone leaves, I should like to have a talk with you all. It is overdue. I have been waiting for Katrin to recover. You may stay for this if you'd like. You as well, Margaret, but if you have other things to do, then I understand. But it is time I was honest with you all.
Margaret looked like she was about to just leave the room and sort of waving her hand. The way you say that, she sort of just stops and tries to re-angle it, so she just sits on the corner of a chair.
I'm certain what I'm going to say will not be a surprise to, and she kind of glances over at Edmund, most of you. But it is not really about giving you new information. It is about the fact that you deserve to know. And to be quite honest, I feel that if you do not know, you may end up in grave danger. So, no more lies. I shall tell you all what I really am. Dr. Rice, would you mind starting us off? If you could tell them what you saw when you investigated the school. Anisha, you're muted.
Thank you. What I saw was an elite establishment that, although in setup was similar to a finishing school for young ladies, felt more like a training academy, a place for those who are talented in combat and subterfuge to receive the necessary education to be employed in surreptitious and often highly dangerous work.
Just so. To be fair, it is a finishing school, just not in the conventional sense. It is not a place where young ladies go to be finished. It is a place where we go to learn how to finish others permanently. Through blade work, or firearms, or unarmed combat, or poison should the need arise. We are all taught from the time we are young. And we are not young ladies. We are taught to wear the metaphorical skins of young ladies, so as to appear more helpless, beneath suspicion. I am not a young lady. I am a weapon.
You'll forgive me, Alice, but you don't look like any gun I've ever seen.
You did not see what I did when we rescued you.
That was actually Margaret speaking.
Oh, well, I don't think she saw either.
No, she wasn't there for that. You're quite right.
There is a member of the Order of the Flame who is dead now. Because I killed him.
And had you not, I suspect, and forgive me, Catherine, but I suspect our dear friend Catherine might not necessarily be here.
That is
I
not
agree.
the point. The point is that I was taught to kill. I have been since I was a child. And I was taught only to work at the behest of the one who wielded me.
Why?
I couldn't tell you why she wanted to do it. Her reasons are beyond me. We were never taught to ask questions. All that I know is that we did as we were told. If any of you have further questions, I will do my best to answer, but I cannot promise I will know. I simply needed you to know the truth. I have been lying to you all for a very long time about what I am. And I did not want there to be any more secrets between us. Best that you know what I am.
Alice, look, I've had my suspicions for a while. I thank you for telling us where you come from. As for what you are, jury's still out.
That's kind of you to say, Father, but I know what I am.
You can feel the room there's a little draft as you see a glint of familiar coldness in Tristan's eyes, which are decidedly not looking at anyone, as he just says very carefully, "Do you regret it?"
I do. I never enjoyed the work. I did it because I was ordered to. But of late I have come to realize the damage that I have done. And I do not like what it has done to other people or to me.
A brick to the head will do a lot of damage indeed.
Yes. That I should also be honest about. John Markham. I killed him. I led him away from the scuffle into an alleyway, and I smashed the tank his brain was in with a loose brick. And then I told you that it was another
Why
of the
would you do
bots.
that?
And because I was ordered to. Mrs. Radcliffe, who obviously you can guess is the one wielding me, or was, I should say. She had wondered what the truth was behind the Spring-Heeled Jack incident. When I told her, she ordered me to, and I quote, dispose of it. She was very displeased with me at the time. If I wanted her to... The only way I was going to be able to make things right was to follow her instructions to the letter. So I did.
And will they come looking for you?
Most likely. But even without that, I fear you all may be in danger. Because they have already tried to kill Dr. Rice.
What?
It was shortly before I came here, to this factory. I overheard a conversation between her and one of the other girls. Actually, out of character, did I know that it was Lucy, or did I think it was
Lucy? You heard it was Lucy.
Okay. Actually, Dr. Rice, you know the girl in question. Lucy, she was the one you met when you were there. She was being sent to kill you. Dr. Rice had been asking some questions about the school. Mrs. Radcliffe does not tolerate nosiness. I heard the plans being made to send Lucy to her home. I warned her. If she knows that you are involved with me. If she finds me and finds you in connection to me, she will likely try and kill all of you as well. If you feel that me being here will be a danger to you all, I will find somewhere else to be. But I felt you needed to be warned.
No, you'll stay.
Tristan softens a little and just says, by all accounts, there is no other place for you to be. Just other places for you to die.
Not in an accurate statement.
Margaret will sort of clear her throat, going, lots of people have got past. Lots of people have done stuff they'd rather not have done. I'd not hang you out to dry for it, Atlas. If I get to vote, then I vote you get to stay. Catherine will nod. Can't say I'm not disappointed to hear about this, Alice, but I'd probably be dead if it weren't for you. I think you've earned at least a second chance. That said, I'm going to go and start working on some protections around the building.
A good idea.
Let me know if you'd like any assistance.
I'll go start getting some components, and then, yes, if anyone wants to help, I'd appreciate it.
Dr. Rice, if you have a moment, there is something I would like to discuss with you in private.
Of course.
And as she's getting up, she kind of stops for a second and just looks at everyone else and is just... Thank you. I will endeavor not to waste the chance you have given me. And then she'll head out.
Yeah. As in head out to have our conversation, or?
Yeah.
Cool.
You both get up and leave the room, but I would like to stay in this room with Nathaniel, Edmund, and Tristan for a moment. They leave. Skip walks over and places his head in your lap, Edmund.
I pick him up automatically. Well, that was a lot. They do say none of us is free of sin, but bless us and save us, that's a lot.
Is.
I hope you don't begrudge that I did not disclose what I had seen.
We've known each other for what? Couple of months? That's not a long time. I'm not asking for everybody's deepest, darkest secrets. And certainly ain't nobody getting any of mine. But we are where we are, aren't we? Well,
Nowhere else for us to be.
no, indeed not. Well, we can sit about complaining about it, or we can do something about it.
To the doing, then.
Yep.
Margaret, who actually sort of managed to hide behind the door as everyone else was going out to listen in on your conversation, just sort of peeks out and goes, personally, my vote is have them on the inside of the tent pissing out, on the outside of the tent pissing in.
That makes sense. He looks down at Skip. That's metaphorical, Skip. Doesn't mean go peeing in the corners.
The leg slowly lowers back down.
Tristan, Tristan looks over at Margaret. You know I don't pay extra if those eaves are particularly clean, yes? I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh, right, yeah, I could tell because your lips were moving.
Why would the eaves need cleaning?
The mind fairly boggles. And yet they are so spotless.
Well, for no other reason than good housekeeping, I'm going to go and clean out my shotgun. It's just sort of kicks up that floorboard, grabs the sword or shotgun, and heads over to the kitchen.
Her breakfast confession one day will be most fascinating.
Never gonna fucking tell you.
I'll bring the good whiskey.
You can hear the footsteps stop for a second in the hall and then continue as though she momentarily considered it.
I think we all have a breakfast confession worth telling.
You're not wrong.
Do
I
we
would hate
indeed,
to step
Father
on
Nathaniel?
hers?
Sorry. Do we indeed, Father Nathaniel?
Edmund, didn't think I picked up my skills during Bible study.
Lord works in mysterious ways, doesn't he?
Not very mysterious, but yes, they do.
And here I thought gunpowder had been quite a solved scientific problem.
Oh, Edmund, you said you were joining Tristan on an errand. Before you do that, could you please join me up in my room for a second?
Yeah, of course. Not a problem at all.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, I'm going to cut across. The order I'm going to go in is Alice and Liviera, Nathaniel and Edmund, and then Edmund and Tristan. So, start. Alice and Liviera, whereabouts are you actually congregating? You've got your own rooms on the floor above.
Yeah, I'm happy to head up to my room or Alice's room, depending on what she's comfortable with.
Either way is fine.
In Alice's room, there is the slightly careworn chaise longue in the corner. The stuffing's kind of coming out of a couple of broken seams, and the cushion has to be continually pushed back into place because whatever was once holding it there has long since snapped. Between that and the bed, there are ways of sitting opposite each other from the other side of the rooms.
I thank you for meeting me in private. Well, firstly, I'm glad that went as well as it did. I was concerned, but would seem I've fallen in with a group of understanding people. I have a request for you. There is really no way around it. You have all noticed that I am a bit under the weather. It is not an illness.
No.
One of the things that happened in the school was that we were given, well, Mrs. Radcliffe would call it a nutritional supplement, but I do not think that was what it was. You would receive it freely when you were going through training, but once you began receiving assignments, you would receive it upon getting the assignment and completing it. And as long as you took it, all would be well. I have not been taking it. The last time I was able to was just before we rescued Katrin. And I fear it is doing damage to my health. If there is some way that you know of to act as a stopgap or something similar, I would appreciate it.
So you're saying that the withdrawal of this nutritional supplement is what is causing the symptoms I'm witnessing?
Just so.
And you have no further information on the contents or intention of such a supplement?
Well, we were taught never to ask questions, as I said. I have a theory about why it was administered, but as I said, it was freely given during training. But once you began taking on assignments, it became measured. You received it if you did well, if you did the jobs, if you followed instructions. If you did not, it was withheld.
And you did very well?
Yes. Yes, I did, except recently I found myself stumbling on jobs. I still managed to make things right in the end, but as of leaving the school, my supply has been cut off. I can only assume it was given to keep us in line, to have us continue fulfilling the goals that we were required to. And if we did not, then we were cut off and discarded. As for the contents, as I said, I took the last sample that I had, so I can't give any to you for experimental purposes. But I can tell you what they looked like.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I was ever given a description. Were they?
Small, oval, greyish-white pills.
Does this ring any bells for me?
I mean, it could be any one of 1,000 things. More.
In terms of some kind of either stimulant or suppressor.
Either a doctor or science plus intelligence roll.
Okay. Look. Doctor or science. Plus intelligence.
Yes, please.
Does it make a difference? Because it's the same rating for both.
It does make a difference, just whichever you prefer.
Oh, okay. That's a 12 for 2 levels of success.
On 2 levels of success, difficult to say, because you didn't know to look for a contrast prior to the supplement being withheld. You aren't sure what parts of her behaviour beforehand you could identify as a result of it. Certainly it sounds a bit too long-lasting to simply be a stimulant of the kinds that you're aware of. The other thing that is strange or unusual is withdrawal for this length of time without any improvement, just this sort of low-level constant withdrawal. That is odd. That's not normal. You would either expect it to have got significantly worse and then to lead to recovery, or for her to have just recovered by now. The fact that she doesn't seem to have done either, but it's sort of plateaued at this in this weakened and drawn state is very strange.
Okay. Strange as in like never seen before, or strange as in this is
strange.
an odd reaction
You've not
to
quite
this.
seen this before. This is not something that you think this is a particular unusual reaction to something common.
Okay.
You think that whatever this thing is, she's not responding to it the way she would any medicine or supplement that you can think of.
Okay. And there's no way of me ascertaining what's in it. When you take this supplement, How does it make you feel? Is there anything particular you can feel it doing to your body, or?
Yes, actually. It makes me aware that I had tension in my stomach, or just general abdomen. And when I take it, the tension fades, and I feel lighter and, well, more ready to go, I suppose.
You're not sure how much to attribute it to just this sense of malaise that you're getting, Alice, but the other thing that you're noticing is that you're not as quick as you were. You're clumsier.
And also, I feel that I am not performing at my best. I do not know if that... I don't know.
It's okay not to know. Oliviera has several plans whirring around in her head, and she's just wondering how audacious she should be going with them. She's kind of looking at Alice, thinking, would this put you in danger? Potentially.
Oh, did she actually ask that out loud, or?
No.
Oh, okay.
She's just... No. So we're thinking some kind of relaxant.
Most likely. With
Would
addictive properties.
Yeah, would I have heard of anything similar? I'm surely I would have done.
Not on that roll. So I'll give you this actually off your doctor roll, and also just from personal experience, because you take quite strong painkillers.
Yeah.
For your headaches. You know that what she's describing is just the feeling you get when you're becoming addicted to something. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's necessarily the action of the thing itself.
Okay. So it's almost a psychosomatic thing.
It's a psychosomatic thing of getting a hit of the thing that she's craving.
Okay.
Even if that's not necessarily the conscious thing that she's experiencing, it's the bodily response to it.
Which, if she's had it for pretty much her entire life, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dependency rather than it necessarily being something innate to the substance itself.
Okay.
What you have seen of Alice previously, she's almost uncommonly and unnaturally quick and strong for her size. Given what she's describing, it sounds like that may have been part of the action of the supplement as well, and certainly would make sense in context. But you don't know anything that would be able to convey that.
Okay. But would it be safe to assume that it would be some kind of stimulant that has enhanced her reactions, enhanced her speed, basically made her a better, closer to the quote-unquote weapon that she is being crafted towards being?
Maybe.
And that the removal of that is not so much additional lethargy, but simply the removal of things that were added on top.
It looks like it might be a combination of both. That the withdrawal is affecting her, but also she's not being enhanced by it. Yeah, so that combination of factors is definitely there. In terms of it being a stimulant, you can't think of anything with a stimulant action that would have that effect. Maybe some of it, some stimulants might help with focus or maybe sharpen reaction times, but the full set of what it was doing, that's the thing that you can't quite grasp. You would need a sample to know more, is what I'll give you at this stage.
Okay. Do you still have any kind of... How do you store this medication?
Mrs. Radcliffe would give it to us in vials, and we would take them almost as soon as we got them.
You have a vial left?
Well, I have the vial itself, but I took the last dose, as I said, before we went to rescue Katrin. I was starting to feel the effects, and I wanted to be at full power, essentially.
May I borrow the vial?
Certainly. And she's going to find it and pass it over.
Okay, take the vial.
As you take the vial, Oliviera, you hold it up in front of you. You can see through the light of the window in your room just a tiniest bit of residue. at the bottom.
Right.
And that is where I will either end or pause that scene for now and take us over to Nathaniel and Edmund. Edmund, as you head up to meet with Nathaniel, I don't know if you'd have visited him in his room over the prior 2 weeks. You get up to the floor where you know he's one floor above. So you get up to the third floor knowing he's on the fourth, and you realize there are no more stairs going up. And as you walk down the central corridor looking around, you can see there is a ladder going up to a hatch in the roof. You're on mute.
Sorry. Okay. At this point, then, I will call up and go, hello?
You can hear him.
The hatch will open. Edmund. Yeah,
Piss and bones.
I won't make you climb
what
this
are you-
ladder. I'll come down.
What on earth are you doing up there?
This is my room. And he'll start making his way down the ladder.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Whatever suits you.
And he'll come down and he'll be carrying a package, like wrapped in a bit of cloth. Yeah, sorry for calling you up here, Edmund. It's just that a couple days ago when I came back to my room, I found this hidden in my room. And he'll untie the cloth, and it's just a package of cakes. Annie Ross left this in my room.
Oh, bless her. She is a precious one, isn't she?
She is. I'm a bit worried as to how she got into my room without anyone noticing, but knowing her, it's fine. She did insist I share one with you, so he'll hold out the
bless
package of
her.
cakes.
So, it's interesting you mention her. She happened to swing by the church not so long ago and claimed that little bounty that we had when we were trying to find Catherine. She was the one who picked it up. I offered to split it out so she wasn't carrying so much money around her, because she's mighty, but she is on the short side, and she's very young. I thought that much money might be risky, but no, she was quite happy to swan off with that ungodly amount of money for her small frame. But yeah, she was in high spirits when she went, and yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay. Well, that explains. She did say she had a vague understanding of what happened. I was wondering how. Not that she ever lacks the means to get information she wants, but yeah.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet of her.
I should go visit at some point. Would you want to come along, or?
Yeah, I think that would be lovely. If you were going to go, then yeah, for certain, let me know. I would love to come along.
I will. Speaking, you said she came by the church. How?
Yeah, I just happened to be there. I was doing some work there, just keeping the place neat and tidy and stuff. Yeah, she came round. She was looking for whoever was in charge.
Do many people visit?
I mean, the flock needs a shepherd. I'll say that much.
They do.
What are you thinking?
It doesn't seem right being
What
there.
doesn't? Why not?
I don't think I told you how I found out about Kirkstone Monastery.
No, I don't think you did.
You remember Father Sullivan said he didn't know anything?
Yeah.
He lied.
What?
He's part of that order. He told me where to find them.
Oh, no. Piss and bones. That's ridiculous.
It doesn't feel right going back, standing there. The people do need a shepherd.
Well, he always seemed like a good man to me. He was always there for me in ways that you don't know. So I can't speak to his motivations or his proclivities or anything like that, but he seemed a good sort. All I can say is that knowing he was of that order, maybe there's an opportunity for you to maybe bring something a bit more, bring a bit more of a holy light into it rather than the darkness. Like my mother always used to say, rest her soul, none of us are free of sin. And if you'll forgive me being a bit forward, I've seen you with people. God moves in you. I've seen it. Anyway, I'm waffling on. What do I know?
Thank you, Edmund.
It's just words, isn't it?
Good words from a good man. Anyway, I'll let you know if I do go visit Annie.
Yeah, please do. I would love to come along.
Yeah, and somewhere tomorrow maybe I have a question for you and Oliviera, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course. Not a problem at all.
Okay. Thank you, Edmund.
No, not a problem at all. If I can help with anything else, you know I am.
Okay.
And you head back downstairs to meet with Tristan in his room. But as you're heading down, rather across, coming up the stairs, with someone coming up behind her, you can hear Margaret. Oh, there you are. Master Edmund, yes. There's a gentleman here to see you from the police.
Okay.
So I am going to go about my business downstairs, cleaning as I was. And if you can let me know once our guest has taken his leave. Very nice to meet you, Constable. So nice to meet you.
Of course.
Have a wonderful day. And as she
Thank
walks
you.
past O'Malley, who's coming up the stairs towards you, she will just turn around and just sort of glare at you in a... And so just turn around and start going down the stairs.
As she's walking away and she's beyond O'Malley, I'll cheerfully call out, mind those eaves might need cleaning.
Keeps going as she just throws you the fees behind her.
Yeah.
That's a lovely old lady you've got working for you. You've come up in the world a bit, haven't you, mate?
Oh, I'm just taking on coattails of others. I ain't nothing special.
Right.
How are you?
He
Cup
looks
of
a bit...
tea, biscuit, something?
I'm all right. I've got to go get back on patrol, but I wanted to talk to you about that thing. I looked into that doctor for you.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Saris.
Of course.
Look, I can't... There's only so far I can go, and I can't get any more information than this. And I already got a bit in trouble for asking, but... Mate, he got let go. Some toff came, picked him up in a carriage, and he was gone. All the evidence gone. I don't know who. I just know big fancy carriage, and I was told to mind mine.
When you say big fancy carriage, how big and how fancy are we talking?
Big livery, the painted bit on the side.
Yeah.
Someone very well to do.
All right.
Sir
Okay.
or a lord something.
Okay. Can't be that many of them then. That's good. That's good information. That's fantastic.
No.
All right.
Mate, do
Yeah,
not
we
stick
can
your
work with
nose
that.
in here. No.
So, if we can just find out what that livery was, we'll be able to find where it was they were taken, because we know who took them. Yeah.
Edmund.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Oh, that's marvellous. Thank you
Edmund.
for that. Yes. Sorry. Hello.
They made it clear to me that if I asked questions, it wouldn't just be my neck on the line. It'd be my missus, it'd be my kids.
Well, you
I'm not...
don't need to ask any more questions.
No.
That's all we need. O'Malley?
There's something else. I didn't... A bloke got pulled out of the Thames this morning.
Right.
Mate, his heart was gone. I don't know.
What? No. You told me.
I did.
You
I told you.
me that he was gone. You told me that was what happened.
I don't know what it means, mate. I just know that it is. I'm sorry.
Piss and bones. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Alright. Do we know anything about him?
I've got to keep my head down now, mate.
Of course.
Look, we know he's an him.
That's new, innit?
Look, there's one of the detectives, Lestrade. I heard him talking with some of his lot, and they think there was two.
Two?
I don't...
What?
Rippers.
It was bad enough when I thought you meant two hearts. Piss and bones.
I don't know what this is, mate, but it was...
Alright. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go and have a chat with this Lestrade chap. Don't worry, I won't mention you at all. You've done more than enough. Thank you so much for this. I appreciate it in ways I can't express.
Just be careful, Edmund.
Oh, of course. When someone takes pretty much everything you have nothing left. So it makes it easier to...
Edmund, you've got plenty left.
Focus. Well,
and,
you know.
And she wouldn't have wanted you to throw it away.
She was all I had. And that bastard took her from me. And I thought I had lost my chance to see him and to see the blood leave his face. And I squeezed the life from his fucking throat. And if there's a chance, even a remote one, that I can do it, I will do it. Anyway, sorry, where were we? Yeah, so, thank you for that. That's really useful information. Yeah, I think that should be really useful. Yeah, so we need to find out some livery. I wonder... Nah, it's fine. we can probably work it out. There can't be that many of the liveries from that time. We know the approximate date and time, so we could probably work it out from there.
We'll get a pint
Yeah.
soon, mate, and talk about other stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Okay?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, we'll get some smoking bishop or something. It's New Year, so there's still plenty of that doing around.
I'll see you soon, mate.
Yeah, take care. If I find anything that's not going to put you in... No?
I don't want to know.
Understood. Not a problem at all. Be safe. And say hello to Claire for me, yeah? Tell her I was asking after her.
Oh, mate.
Alright, you take care of yourself. Do you know your way out? Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm sure I can. So at which point you hear a voice. I can show him out. You get... And just... Please, come on. Don't. Yeah, of course, no. Don't let the door hit you on the... Yep. Goodbye, sir. Goodbye, Constable. Long pause. Head pops around from the stairs below. You fucking warn me before you bring fucking Peeler on my doorstep.
I didn't bring him. He just turned up. I didn't know he was going to do that. How could I possibly have known? Besides, we're all law-abiding citizens here, aren't we? Nothing to hide. We've got a priest in the house. It's fine. Above reproach.
Approach you in a minute.
The Lord works down the stairs. Mysterious ways. You look lovely today.
Piss off. And she just storms off into the house.
Speaking of the Lord, I hate to be the disembodied eyeball that I am, but how far was this conversation from the open hatch of Nathaniel's room? This
conversation was on the staircase about 60 to 70 feet away. I will give you an opportunity to make a perception notice roll, but it will have to be at least 4 levels of success.
I'm not going to drama point this. I'm going to be fair about this.
Fair about your singular swiveling eyeball on your neck.
Wow. The dice don't want me to know. I rolled an 8 for 0 levels of success.
You didn't hear any of it?
No, I was busy regretting everything in my lonely clock tower room.
Edmund.
Yes.
You head along the corridor to Tristan's room.
Yes.
Tristan, there is a knock at your door.
Tristan opens it and kind of hustles out and begins leading Edmund downstairs. Oh, so good of you to come by. Again, thank you so much for offering the help.
Not a problem at all.
Absolutely. Only be gone perhaps an hour and a half, 2. I don't know. It should be fairly brisk.
Of course.
Tristan leads him out of the matchstick factory to a hired carriage. And he is aiming for department store or something of that ilk. When they get into the carriage, he kind of looks at him with stippled fingers. I wish I could say that I was hoping for your help in a slightly more meaningful role, but what I really require right now is a bit of a mannequin. I have a surplus of brothers, and few of them who I would willingly spend any time with, or even have the opportunity to. And the one that I do wish to offer some small crumb of my affections, he's about your size. I was hoping to get him a few things, and
of course, yes, of course, not a problem at all. I personally, I don't come from a large family. It was just me and my mum. But yeah, of course, happy to help. Not a problem at all.
I appreciate it.
You should have told me. I would have made sure I had a good scrub before putting on any clothes.
I'm sure it'd be fine, but yes.
Okay.
And then at some point during the journey, after a little bit of companionable silence, he's going to look up from whatever little book he's reading and just go, We are all full of surprises, aren't we, Edmund?
Yeah, we are. We've all got things we're carrying.
Things that we're carrying. An interesting turn of phrase. I was
Well, we all have burdens on our shoulders.
wondering if it's, and please, as you said, we all have burdens and we all have things that I don't think we are eager to disclose, but I am rather curious about some of the devices that I've seen.
Oh, that's just nonsense and silliness, really. I don't know. I've always had a way of kind of seeing how things work and being able to work out how things seem. And from his pocket, he produces an egg-shaped object and hands it very carefully to you. Whatever you do, don't twist it. But that is, I call it a bright wisp. It's what we used in the mansion. Yeah, that's
Oh,
just from some of the matchstick leavings and metal findings and stuff. Found a way to. So what I found was that if you turn it into a spring and you spring load it, when you turn the spring, it then click, 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 click. When you get to a certain point, you can then cause that to ignite. But also, when you turn it, what it does is it causes. You see those little leaves on those trees with the things, and they spin round, they fall down. If you get a load of them and you put them in, and then you turn them in, when you turn them around, what they do is and he starts just kind of tripping over his own words as he's trying to keep up with his brain, as it's just explaining this to you until it just becomes word vomit at you. And yeah, so yeah, and then it kind of just like winds down as he comes back down. Yeah, so I guess how I came up with that. And then the other one that I came up with, which was quite fun, was this. And he produces his own version of the Megascope. And the Megascope is a combination of a telescope and microscope. By rotating it in a particular way, you can flip it round so that rather than being for distance, it can be for very close up things. And there is a small attachment frame that will hold something at the end, so it holds it in place while you look at it magnified. So this one was an idea that I had because when we were up on the tower dealing with the with tuning fork, and then when we saw Catherine Sartos from a distance when there were all people outside of it, well, I kind of thought it'd be useful to be able to see at a distance. But then I also thought, well, I remembered working with Dr. Rice and thought, well, it could be really useful for seeing things really close. Because when I was doing the egg, it was nice to see like all the little devices and the little clockwork bits and the springs. And I'll not get back into that. Sorry, forgive me. Anyway, I thought it'd be quite useful to be able to see all the mechanics and such like inside. Yeah, so does that answer your question? Sorry, I feel like I've just talked at you.
Tristan is visibly delighted by this. If you've just talked at me, then I have enjoyed the talk quite immensely. I don't know that any questions have been answered other than the ones that have now been raised, but
Oh, I'm so
you've not-
sorry.
no, 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 no. That's a wonderful thing. Questions are a delight, I say, as someone who fancies himself a bit of a tutor. You've
Of
not had
course.
any formal education in
No,
engineering, or
no, no. I guess the closest you could say was that I was homeschooled. Uh, my, yeah,
well,
my
I
mother.
believe I can say. Oh, your mother.
Yeah, you would have liked her.
Was she
She,
also inventive?
she was inventive with her curses. She could, she could
So
throw 'em
that's where you
around.
get it from.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Piss and Bones is mine. Hers were far more fruity. She had a right hook on her as well. But she was. She had an heart of gold. She cared. She was a woman of fallen graces, Tristan. She did what she needed to do to get by. I didn't understand it at the time, but she did. A few years ago now, I would have been 20. Coroner didn't know what to make of it. Said it was someone had gone at her with a deep knowledge of anatomy. Took her heart, sliced her up. There's barely enough to bury, to be honest. After that, it was mostly just myself and Skip. And the father found me, and so I ended up being his gravedigger. It gave me a chance to get my work done. Skip came along with me, gave me a chance to focus on what I needed to focus on. And cemetery's a quiet place, you know. It's one of the few places people don't want to spend a lot of time because it smells something awful, apparently. But I could just kind of get my stuff done when I was there. The father, he promised me he was gonna help me get to the bottom of it. Because in the years that followed, of course, the Ripper murders, of course, came to the fore, and they got progressively worse and more violent. And yeah, we were gonna set that right, we were. But alas, things don't always work out like that. But sometimes they might. All we can do is hope. It's funny that we're in a carriage, actually. I was talking to Constable O'Malley earlier on, and I got a bit of information on our little tuning fork friend.
Oh, the good doctor?
Dr. Series, yeah. He apparently he was ghosted out of the police station. Completely ghosted out of it. All the evidence is gone. He never existed. But they put him in a carriage. A very fancy carriage. With livery on the side. Now, I don't know what livery it was, but there can't be that many liveried carriages. He said it was like a duke or a lord or something like that. It feels like that might be an opportunity to investigate that more. And he also, I'd rather this kept between us for self-evident reasons. He also told me that they fished somebody out of the Thames. A gentleman who'd had his heart cut out. Said that it's not something you can talk to anyone about, but he mentioned a name, and I'm going to try and find out what I can. Lestrade was this blighter's name. So I'm going to try and find him and talk to him, see if he can tell me something about that. Apparently there might be two Rippers. Can you imagine that? 2 Rippers. Anyway, sorry, I've done nothing but talk at you. Sorry. My mouth got away with me.
Frankly, I find it quite refreshing. The rest of us do seem often to be a little taciturn, but sometimes myself included.
What's that? You do say the funniest things.
He rummages around his satchel and just finds like a small dictionary and hands it to him. Please, Feel free to peruse at your leisure, but
He rifles through.
no, that would be quite worrisome for there to be a second Ripper.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. And as he's flicking through the dictionary, you see him mouthing various words. Because he's one of those who, when he reads, he has to mouth the words at the same time. He's a slow reader as well, but eventually he gets to taciturn. Oh, that's what that means. All right. Oh, thank you very much. And he hands it back.
He takes it, he puts it back in his satchel. Right then, shall we?
Of
I'm
course.
assuming at some point he...
Yeah, you arrive. You can arrive. Probably. Are you going somewhere posh?
I'm aiming kind of like mid-range, like...
Okay, so it's not
Somewhere
quite Savile Row, but you can find a decent tailor.
Yeah, respectable. Respectable is the adjective I'm aiming at.
Yeah, you find a decent tailor.
Real quick, given Tristan's background, would he at least have some idea of how many, like, liveried carriages? I'm imagining it's actually quite a few, but...
In London, particularly near the city, it
Yeah.
is quite a few, because livery carriages might be the ones that are ridden in by lords, and the House of Lords is in Westminster. So it's not wildly uncommon. It would still set it apart, but it wouldn't be the kind where a livery carriage in and of itself would be remarkable.
Like, are we talking on the order of hundreds?
Hundreds, definitely.
Gotcha. I figured as much. So yeah, we're aiming at kind of a mid-range tailor, and Tristan is just kind of getting him to use Edmund as the test model for his brother, and you know, anytime there's like a question of taste, he kind of asks Edmund for his opinion. So I don't know, and he's aiming at like the full set of like good coat, good gloves, good scarf. I don't know. What? I can't decide between these colors, Edmund. Which do you think? And he holds up a couple different scarves.
Well, I mean, my favourite colour is red, but I know that's always a pricier colour because of what it takes to make, but it is my personal favourite. I would hate to have you out of pocket on my account, though, please. Like, what's your brother's favourite colour?
It's been so long since I've asked him those kinds of anodyne questions.
Can I borrow your dictionary again?
He hands it back over. You know what?
Thank you.
I think red is the call. I think that's if nothing else, it shall make him most distinctive. And Tristan arranges payment. He's aiming at like all ready to wear, since that's a thing at this point in time.
Yeah.
And you know, takes it with him. He at one point he asks for like piece of paper, or if they've got an envelope, the kind of thing that you would attach with a gift, like just an envelope and something, and he scribbles something down and puts it in and seals it up, and I'm assuming they come back with it packaged and all that. And yeah,
Edmund will take a note mentally of the location of this particular tailor, a Jonathan Gill Esquire, and the address.
Perfect. The GM will also take note of the name of that tailor and the location. But yes, you're able to get that and head back. I think at this point we should cut back across to Oliviera and Alice. So, Oliviera, would you go and examine this residue that you found?
I would, yes, but not before reassuring Alice that you do know I'll be doing everything I can to help you. Don't you?
Yes, I
know that.
Yes, as strange as it is for me to say such things, I trust you.
Because No matter who or what you are, no matter who or what you've been, I believe we should focus on who and what you could be. Clearly, you wish to become something other than that which you have been. And I respect that and will aid you however I can. It is a strange, difficult, and often physiologically painful. And as she says this, she kind of is clocking any symptoms of withdrawal that she can read on Alice right now. Path that you
doctor intelligence roll.
Path that you've been forced to walk from a very young age, I suspect. I know from what you've said, not of your own free will. That is a 10 for 1 level of success.
Obvious ones, there's the sort of dark marks under the eyes. She's not been sleeping well. There's evidence that she's sweating. You can see the sheen on her forehead, and it's not warm here. Even with the fire going, it's still not quite combating the chill. She should not be sweating. And she just looks very, very pale. She also looks a little bit thinner. You can see it in the jaw and her cheekbones. She was already quite a slim woman.
Yeah.
She's starting to look thin in a way that implies malnourishment.
And even if none of that was the case, I have a duty of care. I have a duty of confidentiality. And I have a duty of research. And I will endeavor to apply all of those in advising you.
Thank you.
If you need
Doctor.
anything, you can always come to me.
Well, actually, I was wondering if I could, so, feel free to say no if, you feel I would not be, if this is out of my scope, but if you need any assistance, I would be happy to assist. I should like to feel useful.
You mentioned knowing a little of poisons, did you not?
Yes, we are taught some of that. Also some, obviously it's not much compared to you, but I do have some knowledge of anatomy. Largely so I know where to, attack. But I can reverse engineer it, if need be.
Noted. Well, it's as good a starting place as any. See what we can do.
Just tell me what to do.
For now. And she kind of rattles off the typical advice that you would give someone who is going through withdrawal symptoms.
Try and keep eating, try and keep hydrated.
Keep hydrated,
sleep well.
Yeah. Watch out for any changes, all of that kind of, yeah. And then she goes off to examine the vial.
Are you heading off by yourself, or are you taking Alice with you to your lab?
I think for now, I'm heading off by myself.
Okay.
Understood.
For now. But an invitation is extended for her to maybe come along later in the day. And have a look at some of the equipment and things like that.
Understood. Oliviera, you go down into the cellar of the building and step into your lab, taking the key from around your neck and unlocking the door. You step into a dark, enclosed room. It's lit at the moment by a small gas lamp that you light in the corner, illuminating the round table in the center of the room that currently have 3 large glass jars with a clear fluid and suspended within them 3 human brains. You have a large desk covered in various different chemistry accoutrements, a small bookshelf, or rather a small sort of stack of books on one of these large tables, and then just a series of like alembics, retorts, lots of chemistry equipment essentially arrayed around. Are you looking to analyze the contents of this vial?
Yes, I am.
You're down to one table because currently on one table you have 6 silver metallic plates arranged, which are currently an ongoing experiment that you're working on. But on the other table, you're able to do me a intelligence plus science roll.
Sure. Sorry, not science with the attribute intelligence, just straight intelligence.
No, intelligence with the attribute, so science plus the attribute of intelligence, yes.
Cool. Do I drama point it? Let's see what we get. Okay. That failed.
You rolled an 8 for 0 levels of success. You could retroactively spend a drama point to reach 3 levels of success.
I'm going to do that.
On 3 levels of success, the 6 metal plates are slowly beginning to bloom into detail as images of the memories you have been able to extract from these 3 brains slowly develop like photographic plates on the other table. And it's only because of your recent experience working with the chemical properties of human brain tissue and cerebrospinal fluid that you're able to recognize that that is the primary component of the residue in the vial.
Excuse me?
The primary component, along with some other stimulant medicines, within the supplement that Alice has been taking, is human cerebrospinal fluid.
Okay. What are the do I know the implications of this?
No. Absolutely not. This is batshit insane. That was not a thing that you were prepared to find. That is utterly... You have to cross-check multiple times. Well, presumably brains. What sort of crazy washed-up scientist would have brains at their ready disposal?
Oh, no. No.
You have to double-check your findings 3 times to be convinced that you haven't inadvertently cross-contaminated something. But you are certain that is what the contents of the vial show. Unfortunately, in doing so, you do use up the last of that remaining substance in your tests.
Okay. So it's cerebrospinal fluid and stimulants. That's what I've detected.
Essentially, that is what you've detected.
I have cerebrospinal fluid, right?
You do. You have human brains.
Do I? Can I explain why I'm laughing?
Elliot has posted on a little chat. Technically, we all do.
We all have brains. How readily accessible would the kind of stimulants that I've detected in this concoction be?
You could probably go up and refine some of the plants that are growing in the building right now and have a very similar other elements to add, but they are not the primary ingredient.
I think she'd want to bring this up with Alice first to see if Alice has any idea, A, what she's been consuming, and B, why. Like, there's so much in the operation of this quote-unquote finishing school that Oliviera was already questioning and is now questioning even further. And she doesn't want to... It sounds silly based on the everything about Alice, but she doesn't want to alarm Alice unduly by going, hey, do you know what you've been taking? But at the same time, to try and reproduce more of the same without Alice knowing, she would see it as a medical health violation, quite frankly.
That makes sense. While Olivia is
kind of
pondering over the ethical considerations, her eyes flick across to the other table and sees the images developing on the plates.
Okay.
You step over and you're able to examine them.
I would like to do that, please.
The first plate is one that you developed. The first two plates are ones you developed from the remains of John Markham.
Mm-hmm.
The first image is one of Cassie Markham looking up towards the viewer with a look on her face similar to that of awe. Maybe love?
Okay.
The second plate is an image of Alice Hawthorne, her face calm and a half brick clench in her fist, swinging towards the viewer.
Okay.
The remainder of the plates came from the other automata. The third plate shows a well-to-do gentleman with dark hair and mutton chops sat behind a stately desk. A man is sat opposite him with his back to the viewer. The second man has dark hair and a thin ponytail, and one arm appears to be in a leather sling. Both appear to be in conversation with a third figure, though they are dark and indistinct on the edge of the frame.
Mm-hmm.
All of the peripheries of these frames seem to be very blurry and indistinct, as though it's the peripheral vision of the person looking.
Yeah.
Plate 4 shows a series of ruined stonework arches, seen from a distance and seemingly through a square frame, like a carriage window. Through them, the sea is visible, illuminated by moonlight. The fifth plate is where your blood starts to run cold. In this image, a man kneels in a filthy white tunic in the centre of a bare stone room. He appears to be manacled to the ground. Around him is a painted circle. Decorated with a series of complex sigils. A set of 3 smoking censers are placed around him. His face appears pained and manic, and he is staring above himself as though in terror and awe, though what it is he is looking at is out of frame. A thin thread of light appears to either be being drawn from his forehead or boring into it. In the final plate, there is a man in a straitjacket. He has a round face, a large moustache, and a heavy beard. His thinning hair has grown long and somewhat matted. He is strapped down to some sort of board with thick leather straps, which he appears to be straining against. His face looks vaguely familiar. That is the contents of the plates.
When you say vaguely familiar,
Mhm.
as in somebody that I've met, or someone that I might have seen in, say, a newspaper, or heard about, or seen on the street, or
Make me a knowledge intelligence roll.
okay. Knowledge intelligence. That's a 12 for 2 levels of success.
It takes you a moment because he looks so different from when you have seen illustrations of this man in the newspaper. You think you saw
Okay.
him once at a distance at a social function because him and his partner have become quite popular in recent years for their various exploits. That's Dr. Jonathan Watson. Dr. John Watson, rather.
Oh. Do I recognize the man in the 5th plate?
No.
Nor any of the other figures in any other plates?
The man in the 3rd plate, the man sat opposite the man at the desk.
Is this the
Does
man with the
look
dark hair
familiar.
and the ponytail?
His face is only very vaguely visible in profile, but everything about his appearance, his build, looks like Dr. Serres.
Can I tell when these memories would have been from?
No. You know that they're from the last weeks of their lives, such as they were. But the extraction process is random. You can tell that the images that you've seen from John Markham are within the last moments of his life, potentially, or at least the last days.
And up until this point, was there any kind of connection established between these brains and the vestibules that house them and Dr. Serres?
There was a mention of the fact that the death certificate that was signed for John Markham was signed by Dr. Algernon Serres.
Do I recognise the stonework arches?
No.
Do I recognise any of the sigils?
Make me an intelligence occultism roll.
Oh boy. Okay, that's a 12 for 2 levels of success again.
Difficult to say. These are not an occult language you are familiar with. You might need to seek someone with greater knowledge.
I go to seek out Catherine.
Are you taking the plates with you? They are now developed and safe to move.
I think I have bags other than my main doctor's bag, right? Is that reasonable to assume that I have at least one other,
you could
like,
have
leather
other ways of
satchel or
carrying
something?
them. Yeah.
Cool. I put them into some kind of leather satchel, but I keep out the one that has the sigils depicted on it.
You can
And I
slide
go
them
to
into
find-
thin cases that are designed
Yeah.
to keep them safe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd have prepped the storage for them and everything. Just in terms of like carrying them around without them being immediately obvious to anyone I bump into.
Alice, Nathaniel, whereabouts would you have been for the last sort of few hours of this early afternoon?
If Nathaniel from his perch would have seen Catherine going around placing some protections by herself.
Mhm.
Because she did say a company would be welcome. He would go and give her company.
Catherine has been going around the edge of the property tying the small bells that she uses for one of her wardings around the stonework, effectively finding places where she can knot on these things just to give as much early warning of any interloper coming into the space. And you've been joining her and keeping her company while she does that. Alice.
I would say Alice has just retired to her room. If anyone passes by, they might hear like an occasional sound of what sounds like exertion, but she's just kind of been in there.
Edmund and Tristan, you arrive back, disembark your carriage, and come in.
I want to do a thing.
Yeah, please go ahead, do a thing.
As we are leaving the posh area of London, Edmund has an idea. I don't suppose you're up for an additional detour, are you, Mr. Tristan?
As long as we're going somewhere that doesn't have a smell that you are blessedly able to avoid.
No. It's not somewhere that you need to be, and he borrows a dictionary again just to check. It's not somewhere you need to be inured against, you're absolutely fine. And he leans out the window and provides an additional instruction to the carriage. And we pull up at a large, beautifully architected building. And we step out, and it is in front of a museum, of all places. This is not somewhere I'd usually go, but I've been very curious to see something for a long number of weeks now, if you wouldn't mind. And I think you might find it interesting as well, if I'm being direct. So we
lead the way.
Proceed into the museum. Forgive me, GM. I've checked, and this is absolutely a thing.
Yeah.
So we go into the museum and we have a bit of a peruse around, and then we find what we're looking for. And we find on display in the museum a bladed weapon. And the bladed weapon is made of Damascus steel, or what they believe to be Damascus steel. Damascus steel at this point in Victorian times, in this point in history, is considered to be myth as much as it is fiction. No one's quite sure how to make it. There are experiments going on in France, Germany, and England around what Damascus steel actually is. It's also known as Wootz steel. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. But I am wanting to get a good look at this Damascus steel, and I want Tristan's input on it as well. And my hope is that I might be able to elucidate how it is created or manufactured. And so that is why I have brought Tristan to the museum.
May I vamp as Tristan being an enthusiast about swords and fairly well educated?
Better than any 10 people I know. Go for it.
Edmund is fully like manic engineering mode.
You know, they call it Damascus steel because that was one of the places where it was first produced en masse, but it didn't actually originate there. And, it's kind of an open question about where it did originally. It was kind of a confluence of various trade routes, but also, I think one of the most interesting things is I actually had a tutor back at college, fancied himself a bit of a combination literary scholar and archaeologist. He was convinced that the way you should have translated the sword that Beowulf used in order to slay Grendel as damasked. I don't know if that's just his particular bugaboo, but it does make a certain kind of sense, at least for the reputation that damasking was given, and the timeline fits vaguely with its provenance, but I imagine you could attribute all sorts of different properties to such wonderful, fanciful myths. Of course, I say that as someone who has become somewhat embroiled in wonderful, fanciful myths, so there are certainly odder things afoot in our lives than an actual damn steel sword, although I must say, see it in person. The ripples are exactly as enchanting as they said.
It does look amazing, doesn't it? And it's, given the age that they say this is, I mean, my goodness me, that is looking in remarkable condition. As an hypothetical, I wonder if at some point I might borrow some of your thinking capacity to maybe experiment a little and think about how it might be that we can make these ripples into something that's made today, if you'd be interested in that.
I do believe I would indeed.
I think that could be a worthwhile endeavour. And with that, I'll cede back to GM.
Oh no, you don't get away with that quickly. Please make me an intelligence engineering roll to get some notes on how to do this.
Damn. Okay.
Can I give him the help action?
You may make a
Intelligence knowledge?
intelligence knowledge because of the historical context you're providing that might give a hint on what to do.
I pull out a book that is specifically about Damascus steel, which is so convenient for me to have.
Yeah. Yes, of course you do. That gives you a +2 bonus.
Which roll am I making?
I think it's
+3, yeah. Intelligence engineering. So engineering plus your intelligence stat.
Okay.
Fun
that's a
fact
3.
for our watchers and listeners, the main impurity in Damascus steel, which gave it its properties, was vanadium, coming from specific Indian mines.
Mhm.
I am going to. Okay.
Tristan
Sorry,
Tristan gets +2 success levels,
Mhm.
giving you a +2 bonus on your roll.
Okay. Excellent. I'm going to drama point this as well.
That's certainly something you can do.
Yep. Because my intelligence is not high. I rolled a 21 for 6 levels of success.
So you leave with a series of notes on how the sword appears to be constructed, what the effects might be, and specifically you pick out basically the between the two of you, you're able to pick out precisely where you'd want to import ore from in order to experiment with making something similar. And it's only as you're about to close your notepad that you can't reach the sword. It's in a glass case, but you stomp hard enough on the ground that there's a momentary ringing sound. Picking out the tuning forks from your pocket from the very first case you all did together, you tap them out until you pick out the precise resonance of the blade, noting it down.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you
You're
very
very
much.
welcome.
For that. Thank you. Wonderful. Yes.
With that,
Yes.
you hop back into your hired carriage and you head back to Whitechapel. You enter through the main gate into the courtyard. Katrin and Nathaniel are currently tying off a string of bells from one of the essentially the small sort of iron nails that have been embedded into the stonework of the outside wall. Alice, from your room above, you can see below the work that Katrin and Nathaniel have been doing. And as you two enter the courtyard, coming out from the main entrance of the factory, clutching a steel plate in her hand, and a satchel over her shoulder, is Oliviera. Oliviera, you're on mute.
I know. I wasn't saying anything yet.
Oh, okay. Katrin will come over to the two of you. I've warded the outside wall. We should hopefully hear if anyone who is not resident comes in without our knowledge.
Thank you.
Of course.
May I have a quick consultation with you?
Certainly. What can I help with?
Kind of gesture to move to somewhere a bit quieter.
Excuse me. And she'll sort of step into the building. There is still the old study of Hilary Wright on the right-hand side as you walk into the house, the wing that's sort of become a house of this factory. And you're able to step in there for a moment.
Okay.
Is everything all right? You look pale. More so than usual.
I say this not in judgment, but in search of a favor. Your knowledge of the occult is far superior to mine. Wouldn't you say?
I probably wouldn't use that term, but maybe.
Your knowledge of knowledge that goes beyond purely the empirical.
Oliviera, what is it you're asking me?
I have an image here that you may find incredibly distressing. It contains certain sigils that I am attempting to identify, and I cannot do so alone. It's up to you if you wish to look at it.
Show me.
I show her the plate. Does anything of this look familiar?
Katrin rolls a 14 for 3 levels of success. No. It's ritual, clearly. He's in terrible pain. It's worse than that. He looks terrified. Where did you get this?
When you say ritual,
That's...
do you mean that this man is a sacrifice of some kind?
I don't know. Either that or he's the object of the ritual. The circle is used to focus and contain magical energies. The sigils around them, that defines them, directs them, shapes them. I don't recognize those sigils, but whatever's being done is being done to him. He's in the center. Oliviera, this sort of thing, that goes beyond anything I can do and anything I would ever want to.
That
What
is
is
actually
this?
somewhat reassuring. And I'd like to show her the third one, so the first from the second brain with the 3 individuals.
So the third plate being...
Yeah. The one with the Dr. Ceres in it. And I'd like to ask her if she recognises any of the other figures, obscured or otherwise.
The third one is very much, you can't really make out any detail. No, I can't say that I do.
These are memories.
What?
They're memories from people who were diminished and dismissed and left in the street to crumble and rot. People who are somehow caught up in a lot of what we are dealing with as a group. And mixed up with certain individuals who I regret not dealing with differently.
Then, Oliviera, we need to tell the group. We need to tell the others.
I know. I want to end this. Whatever it is. Because that is what these people deserve.
Okay.
And yes, I agree that the group should be consulted. And, sorry, Xander, quick question out of game. The downtime stuff that I was engaging with, has that been actioned with regards to Katrin yet?
Yes, all of the plants, all of the stuff is the stuff that you've provided to her, yeah. So she started refining some of those into effectively being able to restart her business.
Okay. Then at that point, I'd also like to say there's something else I may wish to consult with you on, but not yet. It's a delicate matter. And it requires the consent of a third party for me to feel comfortable discussing it with you.
And come to me once you've had that conversation. But for now, I'll go get Margaret to put some tea on.
We may need it. Perhaps something stronger.
I go all red in the face. She just sort of... I'll go speak to Margaret. Then she sort of steps away. The others, barring Alice, you've been able to reconvene, come inside out of the cold, maybe rebuild the fire in the sitting room a little bit. Oliviera, do you go and join them? Oh, sorry.
Reno, you're muted.
Muted.
Excuse me, can I...
We're all doing this today.
Can I retroactively make a roll? Because Oliviera did just pull Katrin away from me in a very non-subtle way, and I just want to kind of read your face.
Absolutely, you can have read a face. Make me a perception notice.
9 for 1 level of success. That's fine. Just what's base emotion for Oliviera? What?
I mean, concern perhaps, but nothing you could pin down more accurately than that.
Okay. Sure, that's
kind
fine.
Of looking as if there are 1,000 cogs whirring at once, and she's gradually piecing things together.
I've seen that look before. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oliviera has resting obsession face. It's very difficult to pin anything more down beyond that.
It's kind of one of those thoughtful faces, because I'm the same. It's one of those thoughtful faces where people are like, "Are you okay?" So yeah, no, I'm just thinking really hard.
Okay.
With a slight sense of actual worry there as well. I think you could probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oliviera. The
Is
others are in
everyone
the sitting room.
is everyone gathered? Is everyone there?
Alice, would you come down at this point, do you think, having seen everyone return?
I think she might venture out, and if she sees that everyone is gathering, she'd be like, "Oh, I suppose we should all..." Right. And then, yeah.
Alice will arrive at the bottom of the stairs as you're approaching the room, Oliviera.
Can I make eye contact, smile slightly? Actually, Oliviera's going to go over to Alice, I think, very briefly. And just indicate we should talk later. We should talk.
Well.
And then goes back towards... Is there a kind of center point in the room or some kind of table where she'd be able to lay things out, or...
There's the dining table.
Okay. I would like to use the site. Please.
Certainly. For ease, Oliviera, so you're laying these out in on the table for everyone to see.
Yeah, because what she's doing is she calls people together, lays them out, basically says there's something I need you all to take a look at. Some of these images, this evidence I've acquired from a very helpful source, maybe disturbing, but I hope they will be illuminating. And I hope that you will not be too deeply... She says affected in a way that implies that she really means traumatized, but doesn't want to say traumatized because that's probably going to alarm people more than necessary. And then just kind of steps back, and that's when she uses the sight because she wants to gauge how people are reacting.
As soon as that first plate hits the table, I recognize that child, so I know immediately where this is coming from.
I think that's a reasonable thing to be able to intuit. Not necessarily the how, but...
Where from, yeah.
The where from.
I think naturally also Nathaniel would be the first person she would look to gauge a reaction.
He's kind of leaning over. He was resting the weight of his body on his hands on the table, clenching his fists now, switching between the plates and you. Either a conversation is going to be happening now or later, is what you can immediately read from his face, but he's going to keep quiet until you're done explaining.
Yeah, I'm going to say sparks of anger. Would that be fair to say, running through his aura?
I asked specifically to be respectful with these remains. This does not feel respectful, but I will hold my fury until I've heard an explanation.
There is a stain of red at the core of his aura, but it's being contained by almost like a ring of blue. Alice's aura is quite even, I would say. The same blue and yellow colours that you're familiar with. What would you say the reactions of Edmund's aura would be, Sean?
Given everything that they've seen and done together, I think... Are all of the plates out? Sorry, remind me?
Yeah, I think they've all been placed out. Just for awareness as well, I've put in our virtual tabletop, I've also made it available in your journals, so you can read the descriptions as well. They're called memory prints.
Perfect.
I've also put them so it's like 2, 2, 2.
Yeah.
So separated out according to the person.
Understood.
they come from.
I'm fine looking over all of these until, and I'm gonna artistic license this one until we get to plate 6.
Which is the face of.
Which is the face of yes. I recognize him, and I have a strong reaction to that. One of concern and one of anger.
Tristan?
Tristan's unsurprisingly probably flashes reddish orange like a forge for a second, and then immediately becomes the thinnest possible line of icy blue and steely gray.
And you can see that same old face moving underneath his own.
Especially as he looks at plate 2.
Margaret, which is the plate with Alice striking out with the brick. Katrin looks over each of them. In turn, her aura is quivering a little bit with what is concern, worry, maybe a little bit of fear. Definitely some anger and disgust, particularly at the plate showing the ritual. When Margaret comes in with the pot of tea, it starts to shake in her hands, which are usually very even. And she clearly makes a conscious effort to set it down on an end table. You've never seen anyone's aura look that angry. I know who that is, and she's pointing. Not at the 6th plate, Dr. Watson, but at the one next to it. That's Found Hope. That's the bastard who stole our house.
Do you recognize this man? And I'll point to the man in plate 3, whose face we can see.
In plate 3 is who I meant. Plate 3 is who I meant. Sorry.
Right.
Plate 3,
okay.
the person at the desk, that is Found Hope. That's...
Right, I thought you
As
meant
in
plate 5,
dark
sorry.
hair and
Sorry.
mutton chops.
Dark hair and mutton chops, the posh guy behind the desk. That's Found Hope. That's the man who took everything from us. How did you
He
get
was-
these photographs?
Yes. How did you get these?
As that happens, Alice takes a second and kind of looks down at plates 1 and 2 for a second, and is like, kind of you can see her kind of starting to realize, wait a second, the only way these could be is if,
The dead are rarely silent.
Oliviera, and I'm guessing Nathaniel is making eye contact with Oliviera at this point.
Yes.
From Oliviera, there's just a gesture towards the side of the room.
Nathaniel's gonna go to the side of the room, but not happily.
You mentioned, did you not, that there were 3 graves dug, ready and waiting?
Of course.
I think the time has come to make use of them. Thank you. These memories are from exactly where you expect them to be. You know exactly what has happened here. And I completely understand if you wish to condemn me for it. But I do not look at what I acquired that night and see remains. I do not see corpses. I do not see muscle or tissue or organs. I see people. I see people who had something done to them that was horrific, and that was wrong, and that was unnatural, and that ties in far closer than we seem to have realized at all with many, many cases we have explored so far on our journey together. If there is anything I can do to give those people a little bit of justice or dignity, or to literally, in this sense, respect and honor their memories, I will do so. That is my endeavor here. There is no disrespect intended, no dishonor, and no desecration. And I hope that even if what I'm doing does not align with your own views, then you can at least respect my intentions. There is something far bigger going on here, and those people have played a part in it now. If the offer is still open, I would like them to rest where you suggested. They've earned that and far, far more.
Nathaniel's going to make a conscious effort to relax his body a bit more. I didn't mean to take your intentions into question. Just Alice said it this morning. The time for secrets is over. Especially when it comes to the rest and dignity of the victims of all the cases we've seen.
Why do you think those plates are on the table for you all to see?
Sure.
I understand if you do not yet wish to return to the church. If you direct me where to bury what remains of those people, then I will happily do so. I owe it to them.
I'll go. I owe it to them too.
Thank you.
Let's rejoin the others.
Rejoin the others? How's everyone looking when we rejoin them? And how's Nathaniel's aura looking after that?
Katrin is sat back on one of the armchairs, not looking at the things gnawing on the side of her thumb. Margaret's kind of bowed over, fists pressed down onto the table, looking at the image that she says contains found hope. I will leave the others to describe how their auras looked.
Kristen has moved away from the plates towards Katrin and is just kind of standing as close to her as he can without invading her personal space too much. And his aura is It's kind of orange and bright once again, but with this weird thread of green that you're not sure what to make of.
Edmund's aura is a roiling mix of colours. There's a lot of emotions going on, and they're fluid, and they're racing one into the other, and it's a bit of a mess in there right now.
Alice's has gone kind of a hazy grayish color. It's like, and given her posture, because she's doing this, and she's not really looking at anyone. It's clear she's thinking pretty hard.
She's got her face resting on her chin. Nathaniel?
The colors haven't really changed, but the shape of them have somehow. It's like the difference of a flame just burning and a flame underneath a pot cooking something else. There's purpose to this rage now. It's being directed. It's going somewhere.
Player and GM permitting,
Mm-hmm.
I'd quite like Oliviera to have a word with Edmund, if that's okay.
In the room? Or pulling him aside?
Again, pulling him aside, should he wish to join me.
Edmund doesn't want to join you.
Okay.
How do you offer that?
I'd say Oliviera approaches him and just basically says, anything in particular you would like to comment on? You seem somewhat in turmoil.
Look at the plates on the table. Dr. Rice, look at the plates on the table and tell me that turmoil is not a valid response. We ourselves here today have seen the effects of secrets, and he points pointedly at Alice, that we keep from one another. The damage they do. I won't sneak off to the side of a room to have a huddled conversation. We need to face this. We need to be honest with each other. We need to stand in our truth. And we need to stop this. However we do it. But I will not sneak off and slink off to the side. We stand in our truth and we speak with honesty, however ugly that might be.
Have I noticed what plate he's reacted to in particular?
I think you did say it was noticeable that your aura flared when you looked at the sixth one, which is the one with Dr. John Watson in.
Yeah, particularly the sixth one.
In that case, the response is, forgive me, Edmund. I merely wish to offer you the chance to air any grievances or discuss any reactions in a space that was not quite so open and public, but should you wish to do so here.
I'm not going to hold back anymore. I'm tired of secrets and devilry and nonsense. If we don't trust each other now after everything we've been through, then there is no us. So I will say here and now, and he looks to everybody around him, Dr. Watson has been missing for some time, as has Mr. Sherlock Holmes. I know this because I have been to their property and I have spoken to their friend. They went missing some time ago. It was not the first time that they had been gone for a period of time, but it is the first time they've been gone for this long. And their friend is terrified and worried for them. And now I see him in a plate here before me in such a state as I know would fill her to screaming. So yes, I have a reaction. And forgive me for my harsh words, but secrecy does us no good here. And with that, he's going to go to stand by the fire and like sit down, or like stand by the fire and warm up or something.
I think Oliviera would follow him part way, but not so much as to make him feel like she's trying to initiate a closed conversation, and not so much as to invade his space, and just say with a slightly raised voice, "Thank you. I respect your honesty, and as for me, I agree with what you say about secrecy. This information came to me only today, and now the plates are on the table. We need each other for this." I advocate the same message that Edmund has just given. We stand together. We stop this.
I quite agree. Whatever is going on, we've seen so many incidents now, and they all seem to circle back. And she doesn't touch the plate, but she does point down to it at Ceres. Have surrounded this man. I would think that if we find him, we shall find all the answers we need. I think that should be our next port of call. I think that is the term.
Edmund's going to look to Tristan. And he's going to indicate plate 3, which has got the well-to-do gentleman on it. And he's going to say, I wonder if that gentleman has a livery.
Livery?
Would Tristan be aware of whether or not?
Sir Foundhope certainly would.
I do believe that he would.
Sorry, what is the relevance of a livery?
So, today I had a visit from Constable O'Malley, who told me, at great risk to himself, he'd been asking around after our friend Dr. Ceres. Dr. Ceres was ghosted away from the police, all evidence evacuated with him. He went off in a very elaborate carriage that had livery on it. One of the sorts of carriages is what's used for dukes and princes and royalty and very well-to-do folks. Not common at all. And here before us we see a plate which has got this gentleman on it, whose name I will not darken my tongue with. And talk of a livery, literally from this day, not 4 hours past.
Well, it would seem we have a thread to pull.
Few threads. But Nathaniel's going to go over the plates one by one. He's going to start with the first two, then just pass over because there's nothing new there. And the third one. Edmund, you said you've been to Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson's friend in Baker Street.
Yeah.
Perhaps that friend recognizes either of these people. Might have some information for us.
Potentially. We could certainly try.
Then the fourth plate. Does anybody recognize anything like this?
This is the stone archways which pass the sea. You can see moonlight. I will say, anyone can make me an intelligence knowledge roll. It's going to be quite a difficult roll to get.
So there's something I want to intuit from this as well. What phase moon are we in right now?
You'd be in a waxing crescent.
So it would theoretically be possible to work out the period of time, and it would be either a series going back in series of 4 weeks.
I will give you this because it was at the time you were outside and at night. It aligns very closely with what the moon looked like when you actually confronted the automaton.
Perfect. Thank you.
Question. Would it be dramatically interesting for Tristan to know this?
Know the phase of the moon?
No, know what location this is pointing to.
I'd say, it would be dramatically interesting for any of you to know that, but I'm not entirely understanding why it would be relevant to Tristan in particular.
I'm saying, like, do I drama point it? Does it make sense to drama point it?
I'm going to say there are enough markers in there that if you drama point it, I will point at some possible examples of which it would be. There is not enough there from that one image to determine a singular location.
Okay, then I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
One level of success.
What is the roll? Is it intelligence? Just flat intelligence?
It's intelligence knowledge.
Okay, sorry.
I had 0 levels of success.
I might as well.
As did I.
The dice are just generally not being nice to me.
Roll.
Does it make sense for me to roll, seeing as I'm the one who's had this thing?
You've already tried. I think you weren't able to intuit based on what the roll was earlier. You can give it another go, I suppose.
I didn't think I rolled
No,
on that.
you did. You rolled on who the other person was. I counted that for that. But feel free to roll separately again. On one level of success, it looks like a ruined church by the sea. That could be a lot of places.
Nope. I swear to God.
How big a church?
It looks quite large. It could be Whitby Abbey.
Yeah.
Could it now? Hypothetically. Okay.
Far-flung distant possibility, huh?
What is this?
I think that clicked at the same time, didn't it?
Okay.
How long ago was the Spring Hill Jack case?
A couple of months.
Okay, so it would have been a couple of months ago at the most recent.
Yeah.
Be in the north. Okay.
Does anyone say anything when Nathaniel is pointing at this plate and asking if someone recognizes it?
Alice just kind of shakes her head and goes like, no.
Edmund is only going to say as much as, looks like a big church on a coast.
Mm-hmm.
Xander, I have a question.
Yep.
The third plate.
Hmm?
The third figure.
Yes.
The one that's obscured. In what manner is it obscured?
It looks like, because these are literally visual memories that have been placed onto plates, this person is in the peripheral vision, and therefore it is lacking in detail and fuzzy and dark. You just can't make out any details about the person. You can tell it's a vaguely humanoid figure. That is the extent of what is there.
Okay.
Okay. Nathaniel's going to keep pointing to the 5th plate. Does anybody know this man? And he's going to look between Oliviera and Catherine, assuming this is what they were talking about before then, or recognize any of these symbols.
Oliviera just kind of nods to indicate that is what they were talking about, but shakes her head to indicate that she's no idea.
Anyone who wants to can make me an intelligence plus occultism roll to recognize those symbols. In fact, I will give Nathaniel, you can roll me intelligence just doubled.
Wow.
2 levels of success for Tristan.
Definitely arcane symbols, but you can't really interpret them further than that.
1 level of success from Nathaniel.
You have this itch, this feeling that you've seen them somewhere before, but you can't place where.
Recently or long ago?
I'm not giving you more than that on that success.
Okay, sure.
No one recognizes the gentleman.
Don't know him from Adam. I'm afraid not.
Then the last plate. Dr. John Watson.
Yeah. That's Dr. Watson.
So we have a few things we can do. Delivery. Inquire about what case Dr. Watson and Mr. Holmes were investigating.
Well, let us rest up and then take care of that tomorrow. Or begin tomorrow, perhaps.
Sean?
Well, there's another thread that we've got we can maybe pull.
Oh,
Lestrade.
Who's Lestrade?
They pulled someone out of the Thames with markers of what they believe to be potentially another Ripper murder.
But I
Oh.
thought the
Policeman that is assigned to this, that's leading it, is a chap called Lestrade. So, there's a few different things at play here.
Okay.
do we know how recent?
Well,
Don't know any more than what I've said. Might not be relevant, but everything on the table.
Literally.
it's certainly not nothing.
I reckon
So
found out we'll have a family home. And I think if we find that, find out where that is, and that'll be one of the starting points, I think.
Certainly.
Meeting draws to a close. With the revelations that you have shared this evening, you each have a lot to ponder. I wish to ask a specific player a question, though. Sean, with the information that he has received today, would Edmund patrol that night?
Yeah.
Would he seek to do so alone?
No. No, he would contact the Vigilance Committee, and he and Skip would be out on patrol. He would at least tell them he was going to be on patrol.
Okay.
He probably wouldn't think to mention it to Nathaniel.
Cold mist fills the streets of Whitechapel that night, lit by the lantern in your hand and the occasional lamppost lit across the district. It's in the light of one of these lamps around a corner from you that you see a silhouette projected onto the wall of a building around a corner from you. Could you please make me a perception notice roll?
Sure.
Why do you keep going to places where you have to perceive things without me?
That is an 8 for 0 levels of success.
Oh.
I accidentally closed my eyes.
There's a strange sound, but you can't quite place it. And there's something about the silhouette, but maybe that's just the way it's being projected. So you don't realize anything's wrong until you round the corner just enough to see the body of a man slumped against a wall. A neat red hole in his chest, where his heart was. And as you round the corner and see the creature looming over him, that is where we will end episode 13 of Lanterns of London.
Cool.
Shipping you bees.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that. That's we love this.
Why
We
would
love
you say
this.
creature?
We love this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is definitely going to end well for Edmund.
Why are you like this?
Marvelous.
Good night, everyone. We'll see you in a week.
Good night.
Good night, sweet nightmares.